Hey there! Here's today's spooky story for Halloween. This story takes place at my old house, and it happened about 10 years ago when my grandson was about 3. And we were riding in the car one day, he and I and his mom, and he said, "Grandma, do you know about the guy who stands on your porch?" Hello, no say. I feel you. Come on. If you're coming, come on, trouble. I have a visitor. "Do you know about the guy who stands on your porch?" And I said, "Char, what are you talking about?" And he said, "Well, the man. There's a man who stands on your porch." And I said, "Well, what is he doing there?" And he said, "Well, he's trying to sell your house." This is a number of years before we were actually trying to sell the house, maybe 2 or 3 years at least. And I said, "Well, what is he wearing?" And he said, like clothes that people who are trying to sell houses for other people wear. So that was an interesting story, and we told him he should tell the man to go away that he saw on the front porch. Until a few years later, when we actually were trying to sell the house, and my husband was at the house late one night doing some work on the house. No one had lived there in a while. The house was on the market for about a year before anybody even put an offer in on it. And that's really unusual because it was in a great neighborhood. And like I said before, it was an executive house. So one night, probably 8 o'clock at night, he was at the house, and he heard the front door open, and he didn't get up right away to see what was going on, but he heard someone come in, like a realtor and several people, and they were having a conversation about the house. He couldn't tell exactly what they were saying, but he heard them go up the stairs as if they were showing, as if they were seeing the house with the realtor. And he said at that point he did get up and go to see where they were, to let them know that someone else was in the house. And when he went up the stairs where he heard them, there was nobody there. This house, I'll tell you, you get a bonus story tonight. This house, as I mentioned before, we built this house. And when it was about 3/4 of the way done, when all the stick was up and the outside walls were all done, but not quite everything had drywall in the house, we went over there one day to measure in the family room, in the downstairs family room. So Bradley was standing at the top of the stairs, and I went down the stairs to do some measuring. And all of a sudden, I got a really overwhelming feeling about the house. And I looked at Bradley and I said, "There's something wrong with this house." And he didn't respond. So I thought he didn't understand what I meant. What I meant was, there's something paranormally wrong with this house. And that was probably the first time that he ever saw me act like that or say anything like that, because we hadn't been married very long, probably 6 or 8 months. And he really, although I had told him some of the things that had happened to me in my life, he'd never really experienced it until then. But what it turned out to be was that he actually did understand me, but he didn't know what to do about it. And so, he thought, well, what are we going to do? We're already ready to close on this thing. So he didn't do anything, and we didn't do anything. And we lived with that house and the haunting in it for 17 years. And it was a crazy haunting, almost daily occurrences. And I've still got plenty more to tell you. So if you like the stories I told tonight, please push that plus button, because I'm trying to get to 1,000 followers so that I can go live and share some of the stuff that I've seen and heard with you there. And hit the like button. And have a great night. Thanks.